All right, look at that. All right, welcome back to Goth-Metal Lore. I am your host, Maestro Drake. This is Revulse, Together as One. This is a death metal tune. I want to play just a little bit of it, just a little bit. Try to get in within the legal limit. And we're going to look at 5 news stories, 5 articles related to what I talk about, what I look at. And let's look at the first one, Alien. Alien Romulus director wanted his movie to look like Ridley Scott's original so bad that he used the same concept art and even did side-by-side takes. Here's a great shot. I might go see this. I'm not sure. Is it this week? I don't know. There's so many different things. Also, there's Rebel Moon, the uncut Rebel Moon. There's maximum of 2 hours extra between the 2 movies. I'll review it this week. I'm actually going back and rewatching the revitalized Skywalker trilogy I just watched The Force Awakens and taking place after the revitalized Return of the Jedi post stuff. So if you watch the first 4 chapters revitalized, right, by Lord Crit, Everest Productions, and you watch the final 30 minutes of the motion comic Heir to the Empire, where you see Thrawn's death and Luke gives Mara Jade his the Skywalker family lightsaber. It makes more sense when you see the revitalized Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. You'll understand it. But anyway, that's why I'm not watching Rebel Moon right now, and I might watch this one. So let's take a look at what the new director has to say about Romulus. So Fede Alvarez has this to say. We have a scan of the original 35mm print of Alien, and we put it on the screen side by side with ours, Alvarez tells SFX magazine. Let's see. Obviously, that would do nothing if we didn't do our job on the day, he adds, noting that the team has to light the set in a certain way to reflect the color grading of the first movie. This is not just a style choice, but it's vital to making the audience believe that this film sits within the Alien world. As although Alien Romulus is the newest movie in the franchise, it is actually set between the events of Scott's Alien released in 1979, which I reviewed a while back, and the sequel Aliens in 86. The filmmaker continues, visually, half of the work is just making sure that it looks like you're in that universe. Even at the very birth, Alvarez and production designer Naaman Marshall went to considerable lengths to ensure that the sets looked right. The director explains how the two rifled through archives looking to take inspiration from conceptual artist Rob Cobb's work. We dug out a lot of concept art that was done for these movies that wasn't even used, adds the Evil Dead Helmer, and figured out a way to be inspired by that and put it into the movie. To add on here, Weyland-Yutani tends to have the inclination towards Roman mythology, Alvarez noted. Some of their planets are named after Roman rivers and so on. Acheron, the planet where the colony Hadley's Hope is located in Aliens, takes its name from the river in Greek and Roman mythology that carries the souls of the dead to the underworld. Is that why we have Prometheus? And so there's the constant connection between the company and the Roman Empire. But there's more to Romulus than Weyland-Yutani fetishizing the Roman Empire. The name is a symbol of the company's obsession with xenomorphs, and it has ties to the film's core cast of characters as well. Look at them. They're babies. They're babies. They look like the same people that were doing the high school play a while back, a few years ago. They look like babies. Anyway. This is Rob Zombie. I hope you like my movies. That's my shitty Rob Zombie impression. Like my movies. A Nightmare on Elm Street fake poster keeps going viral. So this is about somebody who's making AI Freddy Krueger. Wasn't he on the Goldbergs? I think he was. So Fred is a completely fake, totally fabricated fan concept for A Nightmare on Elm Street streaming series that continues to gain notoriety, and the fans who keep falling for the scam are becoming victims of progressively hilarious bouts of public shaming. While the homemade AI-generated poster art for Fred is clearly not official to the well-trained eyeball, plenty of folks are not chronically online enough to spot the lie, and on some level I respect that. From the dead stare to the computer-generated Fred to the flat store-bought font choices, it may be surprising to learn how often this fake concept project has gone. If there is a Freddy Krueger fan out there who may be under its spell, do the compassionate thing and let them down lightly with the truth. So here's the AI poster. Not a bad look. I think you could just do better hand drawing it. Look at that. Fred, DJ Qualls? Could he actually, if he did this, do you think he could do a good job, or do you think I could do it? You think I should be Freddy Krueger? Write your thoughts in the comments below if I should be Freddy Krueger. Anyway, some people might say yes. Uh, what makes it so enticing is the fantasy talent who is rumored to be falsely attached to the fictional Max series. While, like any good urban legend, the reports change with new iteration of the fake series. Uh, Genre mainstay Rob Zombie is often incorrectly reported to be directing. What makes this lie so genius is how polarizing Zombie has become among fans, especially regarding his major horror franchise projects. Every single one of us seems to have a passionate opinion on the Halloween Michael Myers chapters and his reboot of the Munsters. I haven't seen the Munsters, but I know that I liked the second version. There's two versions of, well, there's three movies, really. There's Rob Zombie's Halloween, there's his cut, and then there's Halloween 2. I didn't like the second movie. I thought the second movie was garbage, and the first movie was better. With his takes in it are better. So here's the fictional premise for the fake Rob Zombie concept series as follows. Get ready for a chilling journey into the horror origins of terror with Fred, a gripping 10-episode event on Max, streaming service this October. DJ Qualls, as the titular character himself, witnessed the transformation of Fred Krueger from evil man into nightmare slasher in this Wes Craven Studios production, directed by Rob Zombie in his television series debut. Brace yourself for an unforgettable descent into darkness. Yeah, you like my movie. It's a good movie. It's a good TV show. I have some. I have my Rob Zombie sound like somewhere between Donkey Kong and Ralph the Dog or Dr. Teeth, I think. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if that would work, but that's it. Where the hell are you, Freddy Krueger? So I don't know. Would you all want to see that? Let me know. And although this is 4 months old, I want to talk about Snyder cuts and things like this. Uh, Justice League and all that. So he's talking about Sucker Punch here. Here is Sucker Punch. When it comes to Sucker Punch, I have the footage already shot. They just have to let me put it together. We ask every now and then. We have to ask again. I think has to be a window when no one's got the movie. So the only movie I would change is Sucker Punch because it never really got finished correctly. Even the director's cut is not really the correct cut. It's really just an extended version. If I had the chance, I would fix that movie. Unlike Justice League, Snyder got to finish Sucker Punch and was even given a director's cut release that provided significantly more of his vision. Coming back now and saying it's unfinished or hinting that it was prevented from getting his true vision on screen is a slippery slope to be going down. And I'm still reading, motherfucker. Let me read. With Snyder also selling fans on Rebel Moon director's cuts, it's also hard to get to even know what a Zack Snyder movie is now, the first time it's released. Rebel Moon is streaming on Netflix. I will say this, going back to Rebel Moon, I don't even know if it's going to be anything different. We still have to watch the other minutes that are there. When I saw revitalized The Last Jedi and revitalized Rise of Skywalker, I said, this was so much better. But actually, you know what? I'm going to say this. I actually enjoyed watching The Force Awakens. I hated Rey's I don't need no man attitude. I understand there's like trying to show feminism and the Force is female, propaganda in there. That pissed me off a bit. And you know Kathleen Kennedy, right? The Force is female. Just even before that first movie came the fuck out. But I came to like it. And there were trolls and racist trolls who didn't like a black stormtrooper. They didn't like Finn as a stormtrooper. But it was based on Boba Fett. Loosely based on Boba Fett taking off his helmet and becoming his own person and becoming a bounty hunter. There are elements like Mara Jade that George Lucas didn't like. Mara Jade. Mara Jade's sort of that rogue character that Disney owns, but so does Timothy Zahn. It's like she has yet to appear. We don't know when. Will Dave Filoni tell the story? Would Jon Favreau? Oh God, please, not Leslie Headland. Leslie Headland will screw it up. Don't, Leslie, leave Mara Jade alone. Leave Brittany alone and leave Mara Jade alone, please. Anyway, Zack Snyder with Sucker Punch. What can I think of Sucker Punch having an ending to? If I had to really think about it, maybe after she had that weird lobotomy thing going on, that she would leave the asylum, and maybe she would have a daughter. It'd be the end of Rise of Skywalker, where she would have a daughter, okay, and then maybe her daughter has her own weird experiences, but they're subtle. They don't really she's not in pain, but she has these weird psychedelic experiences of her own. and they're different from Mom, but they're something, right? So it would be something to cherish. But I don't know. I don't know what Zack Snyder really wants. I think Zack Snyder wants to do miniseries and not a full movie and have actors in it. So why not have him do that instead of making Zach? Instead of making fucking movies, just make like a 6 episode series. Okay, you could have an hour each episode. You could tell your 6 hour movie in chopped parts. Okay, you could tell what you want to tell. Yeah, you could do what you got to do. Okay, 40 minutes. Let's say 45 minutes an episode. 6 episodes. What have you got? Right? You got 270 minutes, and you could tell hours of story. You don't have to chop anything out. You could tell your vision of the story. You don't have to stop putting everything into a movie format. You can't do movie plots anymore. You can't do movies anymore, Zach. You gotta do now you can do the thing that you want to do is the miniseries. Just do that. Just do that. It'll be fine. Just move on with that. So I don't know what he's gonna do with Sucker Punch. I don't know what he's doing with Rebel Moon. I can't wait to see the director's cuts. Tarsem Singh, you remember him? He directed The Immortals with Henry Cavill, and he also did The Cell with J Lo. Tarsem Singh returns with the 4K restoration of The Fall, even as he waits a theater release for Dear Jessie in India. Ah, yes. Remember the elephant shots in the water? The Coke commercial, I think? So there he is, dashing fellow at his 50s or 60s now, and he's an old man. So two films by one director are rarely as unlike each other as The Fall, which I've watched them. I still have it somewhere. I have to look for it. A free-flowing fable that celebrates storytelling and vivid imagery, and Dear Jassy 2023, an unflinching tale of doomed love. Tarsem Singh Dandwar, the Jalandhar-born globe-trotting director of the two films, insists, however, that the only difference between them is that the one is a fairy tale and the other is not. Speaking from Montreal, The Fall is visual and fantastical. Dear Jassy is visual but not fantastical. So it's something that really happens. Okay, so the two films made 17 years apart are not concomitantly in the news. A 4K restoration of The Fall, which Tars himself produced, is set to premiere at the 77th Locarno Film Festival in Switzerland on August 8th, before it streams on Mubi from September 27th. Dear Jassy, winner of the Platform Prize at the Toronto International Film Festival last year, is now exploring a theatrical run in India. The film is produced by T-Series Films and Waku Films. Let me tell you, that's a great image. I mean, so you have the Indian to the right because Lee Pace is telling Katinka the story of the Indian, but he thinks of the Navajo Cherokee Indian. And when she thinks of the Indian, she thinks of a warrior that's Indian. So she has her own perception. It's almost like Justice League, but not really. They're just 5 different heroes who have just different skills. It was never meant to be a superhero thing. It was more like the original folk heroes before superheroes. You had John Henry, you had Paul Bunyan, you had Johnny Appleseed, you had the Musketeer. Yeah, these are the kind of heroes that's the story that Tarsem Singh wanted to tell. The heroes that came before Superman and Batman and all that stuff. I thought that was really interesting. Tarsem 60 fucking. I knew he's an old man. He looks like Todd McFarlane if he was Indian, doesn't he? He's made numerous commercials and a few music videos since the early 1990s. Besides helming 6 narrative features, he debuted with The Cell 2000, a sci-fi psychological thriller starring Jennifer Lopez. Dear Jassy, understated but gut-wrenching, is about an Indo-Canadian girl who was killed in Punjab in 2000 for falling in love with a poor, unlettered auto rickshaw driver. Damn. Shit. The story came first, says the filmmaker who shuttles between Canada, the US, and the UK, before we started shooting. I had decided on the style. I shot only what was required. I told the writer, Amit Rai, what I needed, and that is how he wrote the screenplay. True crime. Dear Jassy, he suggests, is a real-life version of Romeo and Juliet made in the 1950s neo-realist style that influenced Satyajit Ray. It is a small, personal film, Tarsem says. I did not want to show the violence. The writer wondered if that would have made an impact. I said it would because you will imagine your worst kind of nightmare. Wow. So this is the two people who should not fall in love. It's forbidden love. It's Bollywood. They all dance with the ribbons and stuff. Everybody. That's we as Americans think of that. Da, 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 that's the racist stuff we think of. The film is bookended by a surf musician, Kanwar Grewal, who introduces and closes the Punjabi film with a song and narration contextualizing the tragic story. The singer was filmed. The singer was filmed in a single 18-minute take. The horrific incident happened 24 years ago. It was the kind of subject matter that I knew would never date in our lifetime, says Tarsim. I told my brother we could make a film about it right now, or 2 decades later. He opted for the latter. So yeah, there's some harsh content in there. There's The Fall, and the other movies: Immortal 2011, loosely based on Greek mythology, and Mirror Mirror 2012, an interpretation of Snow White among them. So the film draws its strength. So made a lot of great movies. This one I don't know much about. I think I talked about this one for the indie stuff, but this is the same guy. And I liked Immortals. There weren't too many warrior movies these days. There's like you got 300 Rise of an Empire. You have the Immortals, and a little bit of Justice League. So that's really good stuff. Silent Era. So there's romance. So if you wanted to look up this one, this is pretty good. So you could take a look. Nobody like Lady Gaga. Oh yeah. This is really cool. So the problem is that Lee Pace plays an on and off again Hollywood actor that's to take like pills, but he's taking suicide pills. He's taking like pills to go to sleep. So it kind of sucks. Uh, but Katinka tries to save his life, and she did. The actress didn't even know that Lee Pace was could walk. So it was kind of an interesting behind the scenes thing. It was hard to find some other news, but let's take a look at. We're going to end it on Paul Gerard's post. Everybody knows who that is. Let's see what good old Paul's been up to. 2 months ago. It has been a while since I updated on this. The goal was to create a CG teaser trailer and a playable demo. The trailer is complete. The demo visually looks AAA now and is so close to final I can taste it. Gameplay all hinges on new animators and gameplay features to be implemented ASAP, updated and tested. At its core, it all works and we have a game. Just need more time to refine now. Team-wise, we have been working tirelessly since October. I feel everyone is feeling it until we either get seed money or backing from a publisher. Everyone in the small team is doing the job of 3 people, and it's a very difficult time. With no money at this stage, it's mentally very stressful for all. The next couple of weeks is where it all comes together at the highest level, if we can hold it together for a little while longer. This dark sci-fi horror does not hold back. I will be releasing it upon the world soon enough. Reaching out to publishers and investors. AAA quality, a fierce new IP vision created by world-class veterans and a shit-hot indie crew combination, all tied in with a graphic novel series by Final Impact Comics. And here is the art. This is the art. Check out that art. Can you see it well enough? Let's light it up. Let's light it up. That's the art. That is the art from Cranial Alpha by Paul Gerard. That's his studio there. So yeah, hopefully it works out. So this was 2 months ago, and we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see how this turns out. I mean, Paul's super talented. He really knows his stuff. He doesn't need AI. He really doesn't need, unlike the guy who did the Freddy Krueger stuff. So we got assholes outside. All right. Till next time. Stay tuned. We'll look at some Judge Dredd fan films on Tuesday.